Hey everybody, welcome back to Swift Guitar Lessons. Today, let's try something new. I'm experimenting with this Black Mountain Picks slide guitar ring. This is a really cool thing to add into your gig bag. It's got this spring-loaded mechanism right there inside that keeps it nice and snug. I think that's a really cool feature. And it's gonna go on either your middle or your ring finger. I prefer my ring finger right between the two knuckles, and that's going to allow you to mix together lead lines with your fingers and whatever slide vocabulary you might have. All right, so let's take a close look at the fretboard. I'm gonna show you some ideas, and I'm gonna leave you the link in the description so you can get yourself one of these and experiment with it. Let's get started. Okay, taking a close look at the fretboard and getting started with hybrid lick number 1. Looks and sounds like this. Okay, so I'm picturing the E7 chord in its 12th fret barred position, the overlap in blues scale, the major pentatonic in the same position, and also if I picture the G-shaped position of that E chord, I've got the G-shaped position of the minor pentatonic. Alright, so I'm going to be considering all of those scale positions, mixing them together to create this lick. Now, the fingered portion of the lick looks and sounds like this. Pretty standard 14th fret of the D string. You can slide in if you like. Alright, then minor third to major third. Then 12, 14 on the B string. So far you got? Alright, then we're going to slide up to the 12th fret of the high E string. And if you like, you can do a slide out upwards. So. Alright, from there we have this classic Duane Allman idea. Alright, just sliding down to the 10th fret of the high E string, 12 on the B, and then 10, and then back to the root note. Now, this slide isn't as tall as a regular slide, and so you kind of have to get used to moving up and down as you switch strings. That takes some getting used to. Alright, put that lick together and we got... Alright, from there, the next idea we can try is... And real slow. Alright, so we started off Hendrix style. Just bending that 3rd fret of the low E string and stayed in the root note before. Finding the upper extension of the minor pentatonic scale. We're going to slide up to the 4th fret of the G string and then go to 3 on the B. Finally, the open high E string before. Sliding away from that B note. So. Then we just have a classic open position lick. 3-0-0-3-0. Alright, put that lick together and we can slide into that G note. Bend. And licks 1 and 2 together. Slide. And then right there at the end, we have some call and response that we can try out. So I slid up to the B and the high E strings, that classic movement where we're finding the root note of this key, E. So. Then from there I play something like this. Alright, that was a rake up. And a classic rock movement there, bending the G string, 2nd fret. Returning down, pulling off, and then go into the E note on the 2nd fret of the D string. Then from there, just hit both root notes, low E string and the high E string, maybe a little bit of the B string. and then slide back up to the B and the high E strings using the slide ring. And vibrato. Put all that together and we have a fun little routine, some ideas that we can practice utilizing this tool. It should sound like this. Slide. Bend, B. Alright, just like that, friends, the full routine. I hope you enjoyed this. Be sure to check out the description for this slide guitar ring from Black Mountain Picks. That'll be in the comments as well. If you need a tab for today's lesson, be sure to check me out at patreon.com/swiftlessons. Enjoy your practice.